Rising family, and welcome to HGW Community 72. The HGW stands for Homegrown Wellness 72. I am Miss B, Bohemian Soul. Happy Monday, July the 7th. It is the first Monday in July 2025. Make it a great one. I hope everyone had a great, safe weekend. If you are new to the channel, welcome. If you're not new to the channel, welcome back. And thanks for just tuning in. So I'm going to get right on into this because I actually tried doing this video yesterday morning and just didn't work out. Like, it was just didn't work out. So I'm going to go at this again. So the title of this video is, "It's better to be released than to be done." It is better to be released from a thing than to be done. I'm going to come from a personal standpoint, and I hope someone will get something out of this. That's the purpose of these videos that I do, just to help encourage, help people grow, help people heal, and help people move on into a forward, futuristic, healthy future in their lives. So that's my purpose. So when you're done with a thing, and I'm going to come from or speak to it all being circled around relationship, and how it's so much better to be released from a thing than to be done with a thing. Because when you're done with something, there's a lot of leftover baggage. There's a lot of leftover emotions. And the reason why, I think, it's because you're doing it in your own strength. So, prime example, when I was done, I'm done with the relationship. I was just recently, divorced last year after a 14-year marriage to my children's dad. And I was recently released from a thing, from the relationship, was so confirmed for me on Saturday this past weekend. But let me go to the me being done part and why there was a lot that came with it. So in 2022, my ex-husband and I started looking for a single family home. We have 2 children. And of course, we all know 2022, we're still in the pandemic. So we started looking for a new single family home, and it was a mess. It was a mess. I had realized that the relationship was in turmoil. But even in, I would say, the 2 years, so we started looking for a house in 2022, and by 2024, I was done, and we stopped. And from 2022 to 2024, I would say we looked at about 15 to 17 homes. And this is me being done. And so we were getting outbid. I don't think bidded is a word. We had been outbid, like, I would say 8 of them homes. We were outbid. And the outbidding was between $2,000 to $10,000. And I remember, like, the night before, we would make the appointment, and I remember talking to my ex-husband and saying, all the ideas I had for the home that we were going to go see the next day. And, what I wanted to do, trying to still, I guess, salvage the marriage, because at this point I was done. So I was trying to speak positive about a done situation, the marriage. I knew that, the marriage was not in a good place. But here I am setting up appointments to go look at a house or homes. So, of course, we put the offer in, go see the home rather, loved it. Within 2-3 days, we would get an email or a call from the realtor. You guys are outbid by $2,000. You guys are outbid by $4,000. You guys were outbid by $6,000. Or the seller is asking if you guys can come up on your offer $8,000, $10,000. Well, absolutely not, right? And I remember telling my ex-husband, I am done. I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. It became depressing getting outbid for these homes. But what I was really also talking a lot about or saying was, I was done with the marriage. I was done with the marriage. And there was a lot of frustration and anger that came along with that. And so this went on for 2 years. Remember, I'm talking about why it's better to be released than to be done. Because when you're done with the thing, it's you. You're not allowing yourself to allow the Lord to release you. And by 2024, we were separated March 2024, divorced December 2024. I would say by January of 2024, my ex-husband is a truck driver. I'm in education. And I remember on my break, throughout the day, on my lunch break, or just throughout the day, being in a school setting, I would be, sending, homes would come across my feed, or the realtor would send me homes, and I would send them to him. But by January of 2024, I was done. I wasn't, and it was and literally, I was I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not sending any more homes. I told the realtor, don't send me any more homes. There's some things going on, and I'm just done. And then it was a shift in everything. It was the Lord was no, I'm releasing you from this. I'm releasing you from this marriage. Stop trying to do things in your own power. Stop, with the, looking for homes, trying to salvage this marriage that was unhealthy. It was no longer a safe mentally or emotional marriage or home for myself, the children, or him. So just stop. And in January, the Lord released me from all of it. Soulfully, I had been released to the point where, on his break, he would text me, because normally on my lunch break we would talk, FaceTime each other, because he drove locally. So we're in Connecticut. So some days he would be in New York, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Mass, New Jersey. So we would always talk, FaceTime each other on my lunch break. And I stopped doing all that. And I remember him, coming home one evening, we're at the dinner table, and him saying, you haven't been sending me any homes. And things were just things were coming to an end. And I remember me telling him, I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over, the home, looking for a home and everything. But what had happened is, like I said, the Lord had released me. He had released me. And so March, we separated March 23rd. I'll never forget. Things just exploded, and there was separation. And he never came back into the home, which was good, because that was good. Things just progressed. Did the legal separation, and then eventually we divorced December. And so for me, by June of last year, I just experienced a really great peace, and the Lord releasing me and letting me know, like, this is okay. I'm releasing you from this marriage, this life. And what is so interesting is June of this year, 2025, I started back looking at homes and single family homes, affordable homes for me and my children, because I had cut all that out. June of last year, I stopped everything. I contacted the realtor and told the realtor, don't send me any more MLS listings, nothing, because she was still sending me things, and I was like, yo, this is just real depressing. I'm separated from my husband at the time because we weren't divorced, and then my buying power had now changed as well, right? Because went from a 2-home income to a 1-person income. So everything changed, and it was just very depressing. However, October of last year, my children and I, we moved to a totally different town, and moved to a rental that is definitely affordable. And it was good. It was good. It was very good. Remember, I'm talking about it's better to be released from something than to be done. Because when you're released from something, when you allow the Lord to release you from something, it is done with such ease and clarity. So June of this year, it was like the Lord was like, okay, now you can start back. Literally sign back up on Zillow, or reactivate everything back on Zillow, realtor.com, homes.com, and start looking. And I was nervous because now I'm looking at homes for my children and myself as a single divorced woman. And it was good. And I'm putting in different amounts in which I can afford, which is substantially much lower, because again, I'm going on a 1-person income as opposed to two-person income. And we all know that when it comes to the home market, things like that, you have more buyers than you have inventory, right? And that's everywhere, because I've looked in other places, in other states, local states, but I have looked in other states. But an awesome thing happened, right? When you move in the release, how in the release there is straight restoration from the Lord. So literally, July 1st, a home came up in a town next over from where my children and I currently live. And right price. I love the Craftsman bungalow style home. Love it. My second favorite home is a farm style home. But my first favorite home that I've always desired to own is a Craftsman style bungalow. And home came up, and I said, you know what? Let me just inquire. Now, if you've been in the market looking for a home, like, you can't even set an appointment to go look at a home unless you are, giving the realtor your pre-approval letter. They're not making no appointments with you. And like I said, I haven't even tried for a pre-approval letter because of the simple fact that, I had stopped everything. I stopped everything. But when the Lord has released you from a thing and he has restored you, this is what happens. I inquired about this home July 1st. Within a half an hour, the broker got back in contact with me and said that he would have one of his realtors contact me. And I was like, okay. He didn't ask me anything about my pre-approval, whatever I've been approved for, what have you. Set the appointment. The realtor contacted me. Look at the release, look at the restoration. And so what ended up happening was I made the appointment with the realtor, and for this past Saturday, which was the 5th. And I tell you, y'all, there was no anxiety, there was no stress. He never asked me anything about what I've been pre-approved for. We did have a conversation, obviously, at the booking of the appointment, and basically was just asking me what it was I was looking for. And so made the appointment, pulled up, and what's crazy is I inquired about this home because of the listing price, and it was cute. I didn't even read the description. Yeah, I pulled up 5 minutes early than my appointment. Realtor was already there. Called him. Hey, is that you outside? Yep. He's like, come on in. He walks out, meets me on the front porch. It's got a front porch. It's white with sky blue shutters. Cutest house. He hands me a bag with some tea. If anybody knows me, I'm a certified herbalist. He hands me with a bag of tea and a Frappuccino from Starbucks, y'all. Oh, and a bottle of water. This is for you. Welcome. Come on in. I was like, what? Nice brother, too. Nice brother. No stress. No pressure. Because I'm moving in, the release and the restoration. So we walk through the back. The backyard is fenced. It's fenced. Nice little area for the dogs, my children. We walk through, we inspect the outside a little bit, go inside, do a walkthrough, basement, upstairs. It's just the floors. I love hardwood floors. Hardwood floors, immaculate. It was just such a relief. And it was straight confirmation. I didn't feel any type of like anxiety. I didn't once think of my ex. I was thinking about my children and myself and all of the great possibilities if I chose to move forward. So I just hope that this serves as some type of encouragement to any person, women in particular, just to let you know it's better to move or to not move in the spirit of being done with the thing, but altogether better to move in the release from the Lord, because in the release from the Lord there's straight up restoration. And so and what I didn't say is that the style of the home is a Cape bungalow. So that's it, family. Listen, remember, be great to yourself because you are great. Be great to your family. They deserve your greatness. Be great to your community. Without love, self-love first, we have absolutely nothing. And as always, clarity is key, but without consistency, we have no balance. Family, move in the release, not in the done. Because in the release, there is straight restoration. Family, be well.